Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Jaws. But this time it's going to be just updated thoughts and also kind of touching on the 50th anniversary of this movie because I was able to catch it when it was re released in theaters. And I kind of wanted to talk about my experience with that and also some things that I appreciated about the movie this time watching it. And what I really enjoyed about the experience of watching this movie was just seeing it in a theater. And for those who are wondering, no, I didn't watch it in 3D or IMAX or anything like that. I just watched a standard 2D showing of the movie, and it was still enjoyable for me. And there was only one other time where I saw a movie being re-released in theaters from memory for like a specific anniversary or whatever, or upcoming sequel. And that was for Blade Runner, which that was the first time where I watched that. And that was the final cut that they were showing in that re-release. And I enjoyed it then. And this time watching Jaws in a theater, but this time for the first time in a theater. It was a very fun experience that I'll probably never be able to experience ever again. But I can say that I watched it that way, and still, I think the movie is very enjoyable, and surprisingly enough, not that many people there. I think I was like one of very few people who showed up, or at least to the screening that I went to. I went to like a 3 o'clock screening, and still, despite there being nobody, it didn't like ruin my experience or anything. It was like, okay, that happened, and I just saw the movie by myself, basically. That was pretty much my experience. Not really too much to talk about, but it was still fun to revisit it, like I keep saying already. And the movie itself, I really loved. And the first time I reviewed this movie, I remember liking it and giving it like a 7 out of 10. And I have seen this movie a few times in my life, and each time it's always very enjoyable. And I do feel as though I did appreciate it more this time, especially. And while I don't think it's a perfect movie overall, I do feel as though what works about it is done well enough, and I was able to enjoy it enough to say, yeah, this is pretty great, and it's a classic for a reason. And it's pretty much the start of summer blockbusters. That's more or less what it's famous for, and it launched Steven Spielberg's career, basically. And watching this re-release, you do get a little clip with this Steven Spielberg talking about his experience and what he had to go through to make the movie, and there's lots to say about that. But overall, I still love the movie, and some thoughts that I feel are kind of updated. I remember specifically that the only character that I didn't really care all that much for was Chief Brody. Like, out of the three, he was like my least favorite. Out of the three, there was Hooper and also Quint, that's it. I forgot his name for a second, but all really great characters, and I did love Chief Brody in this movie, like this time watching it again, and I do feel as though what is set up is established pretty well and paid off well enough to where it's like satisfying to watch. And I'll say this much about it: I do think the second half works better than the first half. In the first half, I wasn't really scared by anything, or like it didn't feel a whole lot of tension from the shark moments. Not that they were poorly executed. I just didn't really feel as much emotion in the first half as I did in the second half, because that's where like things are really paying off and things are like coming together, and like you get this whole gigantic payoff that you've been wanting this entire time, and that's what made it exciting. And there was one particular moment where Chief Brody was reading a book, and his wife comes in and she kind of startles him. And I was thinking in the back of my head, you see, back then, that's what was known as a jump scare. And I remember jump scares not really being a thing in the 70s. But there was one jump scare in the movie where there was noise coming from independently of the movie and not within the film's universe. And I thought that was kind of cheap and didn't need to be there. And there are some moments in the film that don't fully work for me in the first half. But overall, I do feel as though the second half very much redeems the movie and really what pulls everything together for me. And I think the action is great, and the music, it's pretty iconic. I think my favorite usage of the Jaws theme in this movie would be closer towards the end when we're in the shark cage. I think that's the best usage of the music in the entire film for me, as far as like that main theme is concerned. Like that dun 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 dun. Like I thought that was like the best part of the movie when it came to the music. And I do feel as though this movie looks pretty great. It's very well shot, and I love the POV shots for the shark scenes. I thought that those were very effective, and I love how sparingly used we get of the shark. I think that was a good choice because the more of the villain or big monster that you see in a movie, the less scary it becomes. And I do kind of like how the threat to the movie in a way is almost the mayor character, whereas like he's just trying to get these beaches open or prevent them from being closed constantly. And I do like that side to the film. And in a way, this movie kind of feels like a proto Jurassic Park in ways. Like there are elements of this movie that I feel are brought into Jurassic Park. And there's just a lot that I really love about this movie, and acting's really great, and there's plenty of memorable scenes in this film. I love the character dynamics in the film, and these actors play off well with each other. All the best stuff for me is in the second half. First half does a great job at setting everything up. Second half does an excellent job at paying off. So would highly recommend that you check this movie out. And unfortunately, by the time this video gets uploaded, I'm pretty sure that the 50th anniversary will be over and it will be out of theaters. So unfortunately, you'll probably be missing it, or you've already seen it during its 50th anniversary by the time this video gets up. But let me know what you thought of the experience in the comments below, because I'd be interested to know what you thought. And overall, I really love this movie. So first time I reviewed it, I gave it a 7 out of 10. And upon rewatching it, and I've seen it a couple times since, after this viewing, I'm pretty comfortable with bumping my rating up. So check this movie out if you haven't already. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Jaws a 9 out of 10. The first half was like an 8 out of 10, and the second half was a 10 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 movie for you there. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Jaws. And don't forget to talk about your experience for the 50th anniversary if you caught it for that. And my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Life of Pi. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.